What's going on? It's the NRW, as always, giving you the NEW. We are back, y'all. Back giving you another WTF. That's what the fuck. And I am Kuya P, and I got the homies with me, as always, returning. I'm not sure what side of the screen they're on, but I got Loy Lee.
Oh, that's me. Hey,
That's you.
Hey, what's going on, Kuya P?
I'm doing good, brother. But we have this guy who kind of late on some shit, but we'll play with him later. He's leveling us up, but today he leveled us down. It's Glenn Lawrence. What's up, brother?
Kuya Pizzle, what's happening, baby?
We're gonna have to restart this level tomorrow.
Yeah, I got one up. I got a one up. I got an extra life.
How's y'all's week, people?
Crazy, man.
Crazy, as always. Just another 2020. Things just keep getting wilder.
Yes. It was a crazy week for me, man. But today I ended off right. For those that don't know, Show is on its way. I filmed my visuals with the homie Joe Carabeo. Check out Astray Productions.com. My brother, we laced it today on the Black Magic. So just stay tuned. The visuals was really hot today. So anyway, I just want a quick promo.
Crispy. Looking crispy.
But let's start off the week, man. Trump got out of the hospital and got buck wild, and as soon as he went to the White House, took that mask off and was like, "Fuck y'all." What's up with that, yo?
Glenn?
I mean, you're asking me. I have no idea. It's wild. We're in a wild place. It was a very like a Vita moment. As a matter of fact, man. I saw some newscasters and some people on Twitter calling it a COVID moment, where. Like, I don't know if y'all remember Alva Bron, standing outside of the terrace in Argentina and shit. Like, my people. Argentina. And they love it. I don't know. Here's the thing. It's, it messes with people's mind because it's like I tend to think that the virus is very serious. But when you see something like that, it makes you kind of question, like, oh, shit, how serious is it?
It makes dumb people.
I mean, he's 74 and he came out looking like he was fine and everything, and he's still like saying he's fine. So.
Did you see it? He was like trying to catch a. I'm like, bruh, he got something.
I saw it, but I mean, the fact remains, he got it, and then he got cured in 4 days. A lot of people are going to look at that and be like, "See, there's nothing to worry about."
Yep.
And then you walk around and you go outside, and people are just going about their life, and it's like, "Oh, I guess it's nothing to worry about." But I think New York will tell you, like, it definitely, like, if it gets a hold, it's very dangerous. So I don't know. I feel like it's a very dangerous thing to kind of play that card. But he's a great villain. I watched because of this moment. I watched Infinity War and Endgame again because I was just like, and I'm like, yo, this tracks so well. So well.
But with Infinity War, I mean, it was all at a snap. Like, we didn't have to stay in. It snapped, and then we could just go. Like, if we snapped on Monday, we were back at work on Tuesday.
Right.
Like, not this 6 months later.
Well, unless you survive the snap, and then I think we've all survived the snap, so we're living through the 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you survive, but they didn't take away stand-up comedy. Thanos snapped, everything. Half the people disappeared. Stand-up comedy was still there.
Right. Well, movie theaters were still there, but apparently that's not happening anymore either. So.
So
I need a drink.
Yeah, that was a Monday. I was a little sad that COVID didn't do it. COVID had one job for that I needed it to do. And come on.
Well, I mean, it looks like President Trump is like winning even when he's losing. Like, at first you're like, oh, he got it. He's a loser because only winners don't catch it. And then he beat COVID. So I don't know how he's going to spin it. President Trump defeated COVID? I don't know. It's gonna be crazy headlines out there.
Wow. Yeah. And you see and then the other headlines that came out, just all the additional cabinet members, the people that are in the White House, the numbers keep on rising of people that are caught it from whatever super spreader event that they had.
If a lot of people have got it within the administration, and then all of them survive, and none of them are deathly ill, then it makes you kind of wonder, like, how bad is it? You know what I mean?
But they have the best doctors. That's what's saving them.
I get it. It's the optics, though. The optics of it. The optics are like make everybody like, well, why do we take all these precautions if everybody's getting it and they're just, beating it? So, which I think is a valid point. I don't think that's a incorrect way to think about it. Like, You know,
I mean,
why
it's
are
all-
we shutting down shit? You know, I went to my last movie theater experience maybe in the next year or whatever because of this whole thing. Why is that if everyone's surviving?
Yeah.
I like how Glenn already knows the agenda that we're going on, and he's just trying to jump into the next topic. He's like trying to avoid this topic at all costs.
I mean, you know, I'm not really trying to avoid it, but you know, the dude got it, and then he survived it, and then what do we do? What do you say to that? It's like,
I mean,
okay,
what you say to it, it's all fun and games until Nana dies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all fun and games until someone close to you catches it and then doesn't survive, and then what? And then what do you do?
Yeah. I think the same thing as Trump did. You take off the mask. Take me too. If you're gonna take Nana, take me too.
You look like Edward from Twilight, just stepping out into the sun. Just
That's what happens when you get COVID. You start sparkling in the sun. Just like,
Well, my what the fuck for this week started off with a bang, and that was it. I'm like, really? Come on. But let's move it forward because again, Glenn wants us to move it forward.
Yeah,
hey, I'm with it. I was just doing a natural segue because I felt like it was.
So, but we're still in the politic game because on Tuesday we had the vice president debates. Lloyd, why don't you hit that one up first? Pence versus Kamala.
I didn't watch it. Based on the fact that they're not going to talk about policy.
So into it right now with everything.
They're not going to talk about policy. I'm not going to learn anything. I'm going to learn I'm not going to learn anything from it. I'm not going to. It's not going to change my mind how I'm going to vote. Like, who watches the debate and go, "Huh, that's a valid point. I'm going to erase the thing and then re-vote." No one. Not a single person.
Hey,
if you're still undecided right now, you're losing at life. Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, it's a tough time right now to figure out what you want to do. I feel for people who don't have a grasp on how bad the situation is and are undecided. I feel like
Exactly.
I mean, but I think right now, if you're undecided, life is probably not that bad for you. You probably haven't lost that many people. You probably haven't got fired or whatever. You're just like, everything's kind of fine. But for a lot of people, life is pretty bad, and they've kind of figured out what they want to do. I watched the debate, and I saw a couple things that were very interesting.
Okay,
I want to hear because I watched it too. Let me hear what you got, Glenn.
So one is I was very upset with Kamala because I just wanted to hear her one time say, "You just going to sit up here and lie." That's
okay. I'll give you that.
I wanted to give her that black woman vibe. You just going to sit up here and lie. Because there was
there were moments that she did it, but in a very non-threatening way, I guess, because she didn't want to come off like that.
Yeah.
She checked him though. She checked him a few times. Excuse me or whatever. Mr. Vice President, I'm talking or whatever.
Well, it's the reverse now. Now you've got Pence staring at the screen and Kamala just yelling in his ear, just staring at him, and he's like not making eye contact, and she's just it's exact opposite from the first one.
It was just crazy too because she would say things that are actually really true. 200 and something thousand people have died from COVID, and then Pence is just shaking his head like. It's like, but those are the numbers. Those are actually the numbers from Europe. What are you talking about? That really did happen. It's like, no. But I thought I thought his demeanor was very frightening. Like if you had to pick a movie villain, you know, he would pick. And then he had like the red eye and shit. Like his eye was super red, and then the fly was on it. It looked evil.
Fucking
it looked very
fly.
Evil.
He had a fly chilling on him. Flies stay on shit. That or dead people. That motherfucker is dead inside.
Just burrowed into his wig.
There.
The other thing I read somewhere, I don't know, I read it on the internet, so obviously it's true. When flies are an indication in the Bible of ever-present evil and like evil surrounding a person or inhabiting a person. So when there's a lot of flies around or death, that's what it entails. So I thought it was very fitting that it flew on him. But it's funny because it's like a lot of evangelicals are like, oh, we love Pence or whatever. It's like, but if you are in your book, you would see the signs and I don't understand.
Glenn, that's the Old Testament. We only refer to the New Testament because that's what applies at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't care about Job. We don't care. It's Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Okay, that's what we care about right now.
It was wild, and the way he talked is like, if you got kidnapped by a serial killer and he's explaining to you why he has to kill you, that was the tone that he took. It was very
Pence Luthor.
Yeah, exactly. It was very villainous.
Yeah,
but it was interesting. I don't think that debate moved the needle either way. If you were for one side, you were still for that side, and I think if you were undecided, you're still undecided. You still didn't really hear much that would change your mind.
It was exactly what I expected. I kind of wanted more fireworks, but at the same time, we already know. Know.
But I will say that I feel like Kamala Harris, she showed that she's measured and would make an excellent vice president. And if she had to step up to the presidency, I wouldn't mind seeing that either. Now, Democrats as a whole, I got issues with their whole platform and all this other stuff. But in terms of just pure competence, I feel like she showed she was very competent. So that was good to see.
All right. So the next thing, now to turn it to a positive. Although I don't go to this establishment very much anymore because I'm trying to live right, eat right. McDonald's, y'all still going to McDonald's every now and then?
Now and never.
Mickey D's, bro. They're introducing some new bakery items starting on October 28th, where they're going to have an apple fritter available, a blueberry muffin, and a cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll.
Cinnamon roll. What do you think about that? What do you think about McDonald's adding some additional items?
I'm not going to be able to get there in time before breakfast ends anyways, so it doesn't matter much to me.
They added 2 of my favorite things, and then blueberry muffin is definitely in the top 10 of my favorite things to eat in the morning. So I'm very happy about this.
I might check it out.
Yeah. There's some positive things that are happening during this quarantine, and that's one of them.
I feel like I need to get older. I need to become like an old man and just hang out at McDonald's at like 8 a.m. with my old friends as well, and just eat baked goods and coffee.
Yeah, and then have your newspaper and complain about things, and maybe play a game of checkers or chess or something.
That's exactly the life I'm looking for, Glenn. Yes.
We'll do it. I'm gonna get my old man hat. I've already got the old man belly. I'm gonna get my old man hat and come visit you, Loy, and we can have a meeting of the minds every weekend.
Vegas, baby, Vegas, come out.
All right, and next up I have it's not on y'all's list, gentlemen. I apologize, but for Halloween, because with me having a kid, you gentlemen don't have kids yet, but we're looking into Halloween. But we're not gonna have a regular Halloween, so we've just kind of been just buying stuff for next year, really, because we don't want to actually go out and about. But they came out with a top list of costumes for this year. I don't know why you would be going out, because it's still not a good thing. And a lot of people are suggesting that you don't. But the top costumes for this year are Batman, Baby Yoda, Harley Quinn, and anything from Fortnite. That's your costumes for this year. But what do you guys think about that for this year? Will you be offering up candy at your homes this year, or will you be like, don't come spread that COVID shit around me? Keep my door closed.
First of all, I'm very disappointed you're not having a Halloween party, because your parties are off the chain, and I'm very sad that you're not going to be having one this year.
It hurts me too. Yeah, because I would love to see all of y'all. For real. I enjoy Halloween. Is like one of my, beyond Christmas, like a favorite holiday. So,
yeah, man, it's great. Yeah. I'm not going out, and I usually don't dress up anyway. I will be sitting at home, probably catching up on shows that I was supposed to watch for the show. So I'm not dying and leveling out, as you guys mentioned at the beginning.
Restarting
but
of the level.
Handing out candy? No handing out candy?
We have an apartment here, so we might get like a big basket and then put it out in front and just say, don't knock, and then they just come by and pick up candy from the thing.
Then you would be one of those houses that I would go, oh, they just left the shit outside?
Yep.
Hey, until it's gone, get it till it's gone. You know what I mean?
slide a full-size Snickers out the little mail slot. Just be like, there you go.
That's what we need. Go. We need the honor system back. So I'm just operating by the honor system. Full-size Snickers in the bucket. Please only take one, and you're on the honor system.
Oh, that's what it is. You put it in the bucket, and you just like, please knock after receiving. So they take it, they knock, and then you open and put your hand out, drop another one in there.
Yeah,
one at a time.
You know what? Or leave it in there, right? Leave them all in there, and if they take more than one, then I open the door and cough on them, and then they get COVID. See?
You really want to get beat up by a bunch of kids and or their parents?
You think so? It was the honor system. If you took one, you wouldn't get coughed on. It's an easy system.
You, my friend, are not the spirit of Halloween. I won't be handing out candy. I'm in the middle of a move, but also I think I hate dressing up. And you sit down, you watch something, and you have to get up every 5 minutes. Nah, we're good. We're good. Yeah. No Halloween in this house.
This year we don't need COVID and candy. No.
That sounds like a song where I'm gonna cut myself too.
We may have to produce that track. That might be a banger this year.
I smell COVID and candy.
I'm with it. Sounds like a chart topper.
Bruh, the creative juice is flowing. So for the next story, going away from the COVID and candy, I got this one especially for you, Glenn, because I want to know what's going down. In Philly, it was found this past Sunday, up to 1,500 birds flew into Philadelphia skyscrapers in a single day. What the fuck is going on in Philly?
Have you been to Philly?
Tracking birds, and they're just killing themselves. They're like, fuck this COVID shit. I'm flying into the skyscraper, and I'm just,
how many birds flew in the
1,500 birds. I'm pulling this from CNN. It happened on October 2nd, this past Sunday. There's I guess a city, cleaner that's responsible for this type of shit, because it's apparently a regular thing. Because apparently, so somewhat the explanation is that Philadelphia is part of the flyway for migration, and this has been an insane time that they've ever seen this. But because some of the totals is about 1 billion birds die each year from colliding with buildings, and it's been going on for forever since we started putting up these skyscrapers. But it was weird that in one day 1,500 fucking birds. Into this.
So, out of curiosity, does that number include the Eagles, or is it just?
We won this week, Loy.
Fuck you.
FYI,
and fuck you about that.
We beat the Niners, Loy, handily.
Who's on the Niners now?
We're running with backups, right?
Yeah, that's right.
We're running with backups.
Hey,
we were on our second string, bro.
Hey,
look, we was talking shit a little bit.
Where does that say that in the standings? It just has a 1 and then a O next to us versus y'all. It's in the W column.
We're gonna. I'm just
saying, and the Eagles just crashing in this.
Yeah, and then we're number 1 in the NFC East, which is great. But I've never seen anything like this. It's crazy. I wonder if it's because there's just been a lack of things happening. Planes flying and whatnot to guide them. Their migration patterns might be different. Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
Something happened with that. Yeah, but it's a lot more than they've ever seen in a long time. And you know what? I'm gonna throw the picture up from CNN that I got from this right now. Y'all can see that. Just look at all these dead birds lying on the ground. It's sick, man. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, apparently it says it's happened before. Yep. It happens often.
We're around playoff time.
Yeah. But I don't know what would cause it. It's a weird thing. It's a weird phenomenon, especially with everything else that's happened. It's just like, could this?
Yeah. End of times. Jesus Christ is coming back. I don't know.
I mean, well, it clearly seems like we have the Antichrist, which is in play.
But I know which horseman that is. Which horseman is the birds dying at mass rate?
Wait, what are the 4 horsemen? What are they supposed to be?
Arn Anderson.
Yes, Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, and Barry Windham. Bitch, I still got it.
Okay.
Bruh, that's the classic wrestling. Lloyd knows what's the fuck. Man, that was the years, Lloyd. Those were the years, baby.
Woo!
Yes. Woo! Glenn, you didn't get into wrestling back in the day, man.
I did not.
See? That's why you're an Eagles fan.
But I mean, you have to define back in the day, because I'm 40 now. Now there's multiple decades when you say back in the day. Because I could go to decade 1, which yes, I was into wrestling. Those were the early days, like with Glow,
in Genesis,
and WW or what was it? WWE. No, the other one.
It was WWF back in the day.
No, there was another one, WWF, and then there was the
WCW.
WCW, yeah.
WCW,
NWA.
Yeah, back in the day, with all those, who was it?
Look at it. I don't know. He's stumbling. Look at him. And then
Mount Fuji. What was the lady's name? Mount Fuji. What was her name?
Mr. Fuji
was. Mr. Fuji. It wasn't a lady. It was a Mr. Fuji.
No, but there was a Glow. There was the big woman.
Oh, the gorgeous ladies of wrestling.
Yeah,
Glow. And now there's a Netflix show about them.
Yeah. Who was the one? She was like Samoan or something. The big one. That was my homegirl. I think that's why I like big girls to this day.
I have another reason why you like big girls to this day.
Well, hey, it's what it is. Look, I love my gorgeous big ladies. But yeah, I used to be in, but then I grew out of it. So the next decade, no, and then 20. I haven't got it back in it since.
All right,
that was an amazing story. Anticlimactic.
And to transition from dead birds.
Yeah, that's a dead topic.
Well, we'll stay on the dead, I guess. Before we do, because I don't want to make light of the deaths that happened this week. We'll go to the death of cinema now. So right before we started this convo and started recording, we were talking about Regal closing. And Glenn, since you brought that up earlier, and then you also kind of broke my heart talking about Alamo, but I don't think Alamo's getting affected by that. Why don't you talk about Regal, Glenn?
So one of my most favorite things to do in this world is go and enjoy a movie, including especially blockbuster movies, but just enjoy any movie in the theater. And I got word, or they made the announcement, that Regal is shutting down all theaters starting last Thursday, October 8th. And I hightailed it to buy a ticket to the last movie, which was Tenet. The Christopher Nolan movie. I went and I happily paid for some overpriced popcorn, full price, and as well as the soda. I didn't sneak anything in. I just wanted the full experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went in there. I watched Tenet. The movie theater had maybe 3 people in it, and they were all. It was bad. And then somebody sneezed in the middle of the movie, and I was like, "Why?" And then I moved all the way to the other side of the theater.
How close was he to you?
He wasn't. They weren't close at all. But I moved even further away,
based on principle.
Based on principle, really. And then I moved. But I watched Tenet in the theater, and I just took it all in, because who knows when's the next time we'll be able to go out to see a movie. Regal's closing. I know some of the other ones are still open, but I just wanted to take it all in, man. And it sucked to do that. I saw Tenet, which was crazy. I feel like I did not understand it at all, but at the same time, I at the same time I was like, oh, I get the symbolism, you know what I mean, but I totally didn't understand it. But it's wild, I felt the leather seats and just the fullness of the theater, and I was like, man, I'm gonna really miss this if it's something that doesn't come back in the near term.
Yeah. So that's like going through Blockbuster and just touching all of the empty cases and being like, I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah, exactly. Just for nostalgia's sake, I wanted to take it all in. So when I got the announcement, I was like, okay, I'm 100% going to see a movie before it closes, because this is a movie theater that's within walking distance of my home, and I just took in the whole moment, to walk there, to go in, get the thing, and I'll miss it, man. I hope it comes back. I hope we all support it and it comes back.
I think the biggest concern that I have with movie theaters closing is that, if it's store closed, like Sears closed, there's going to be the footprint is of another store, right? So another store could open up in a Sears or what have you, or a Gap. But at a movie theater, it's like, what can you open in a movie theater without gutting it or tearing it down completely, like another movie theater? Or Well, what? Stand-up comedy? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I wonder what happens with that. Do they go bankrupt and sell it? Does all the apparatus still stay there and somebody else takes care of it? Or do they continue paying for the lease for it? Like, how does that work? What happens? It's another reason why, things have just gotten way out of control in this country where it didn't need to happen this way, especially if they're printing trillions of dollars. It's like, okay, well, then why are you trying to save money if you're just printing all the money? What is the point?
That would bother me if they bailed out movie theaters. I know it's important and I get it. It's a big industry, but it's like if they're bailing out the movie theaters and we still gonna pay $47 for popcorn, I'm gonna be pissed.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But what may happen is with all this, everything may become cheaper. So like all these theaters and stuff, they come back in and people don't have money to spend. So it's like, okay, now we have to make all the ticket prices cheaper. We have to make the popcorn cheaper.
I don't think, I mean, sure, money's an issue, but I think the real problem is that people aren't comfortable going out with other people in closed areas. Like even comedy shows that I'm not saying I've been to any, but people are still afraid to be out and about.
Mm. Well, maybe the president jumping out on the balcony and taking his mask off will save the theaters. Everyone will be like, you know what? It's fine. Let's go to the theaters. Let's go to movie theaters. It's fine. Because that trickles down. Lloyd, me and you are comedians. We would disagree to what level each of us are comedians, but we're both comedians, and I feel like this trickles down. You know what I mean? If movies all of a sudden aren't happening, then there's less roles that are going around, and a lot of those roles are sometimes filled by comedians. That's less opportunities for us to showcase our talents or whatnot. So I mean, it's really tragic, and I really think there's a lot of impact that this could have down the line.
Oh yeah,
including in what we do. Patrick, you're also an actor. You know what I mean? You'll be missing out on
filmmakers,
gigs and roles, and everything will be like indie. I'm doing a documentary right now. I want to showcase it somewhere. Where can I showcase it? If theaters aren't open, all these things are kind of questions that we need to get answered.
What makes me sad is like you look at like the old Fox theaters, or there's like California is full of these old school theaters that were made in the 50s and 60s. They're beautiful buildings, and then they're dilapidated, or they are no longer the same thing, and you go, that was the height of these theaters, and now we're gonna see all of these Regals and maybe AMC theaters that are just gonna go to the wayside. What are they gonna do? They're gonna become nightclubs. What are they gonna become?
Yeah.
It made me think, when the Soviet Union fell, like everything that it used to have, it just fell, and then they were just stuck in that era. And I'm like, oh, is that what's going to happen to us? Like everything fell, and then we have all this like infrastructure that is there, but is not being operated because everything collapsed, and we're basically going to be on the outside looking in because other countries are still doing their thing. Like if you went to South Korea or something, you could go to a movie, no problem. Is that also going to change the narrative of these movies? Like, are they going to be now focused on other countries and their stories as opposed to the American stories?
That sounds dope. I'm ready for that. I would like to live in that dystopia.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, it'll be interesting because then you'll have a lot of characters that are from other countries and another way of seeing things, and it'll basically be the way that they were living. Like if you're in South Korea or China or something, you're getting an American exported movie. We'll just have to get exported films from other countries because we don't have anything produced here.
Learn to read subtitles, people. That's the lesson.
Yeah, Parasite was teaching us a lesson. Like, hey, this is the future.
And that was a great movie. If you haven't seen Parasite, that was a great movie.
Dope movie.
Staying on this topic, some companies within the past couple months did go direct to streaming with some of those movies. Like Sonic went to direct to streaming. That The Invisible Man. Did y'all catch that? How do you feel about that? Because I know for myself personally, there's a film that dropped today that I really want to see called Yellow Rose. Shout out to Diana Paragas, who put that great film out today. I want to see this film, but I don't want to brave the theater. What do you think about, also, making it available that you can purchase it online to stream at home and do that?
Actually, it's funny that you mentioned Sonic because Sonic was in theaters back in February. And it was the last movie that I saw in theaters.
They did? Oh.
Yeah, I went to go see it for Valentine's Day because it released on Valentine's Day, and I went to go see it
You're such a
Valentine's
romantic.
It wasn't it wasn't Sonic I was thinking of. It was another movie, but
Mulan,
but again, yeah.
Mulan went straight to Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I like Mulan. Yeah.
I think
Mulan was
Mulan. I think Mulan is the right business model. People will pay for it. People will pay for it at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's great. I think it really hurts though, like major blockbuster movies, because those really rely on theaters, and you really get the full effect. You know, like I would not. You know, I would have watched it. I probably would have enjoyed it, but I wouldn't have got the same effect of seeing like Infinity War, where everyone's in the theater and we're all crying because Spider-Man died. Spoiler alert! Because Spider-Man dies at the end of Infinity War, or like when Captain America gets the hammer in Endgame, it's like and everyone cheers. You're gonna miss a lot of those moments, and I really think
that communal vibe.
Of seeing a movie. I think it'll come back. I think it'll just take time. I mean, as soon as there's a treatment and everyone I think we're gonna rapidly really go back to what we wanted to do. But hopefully, everyone still has a job and people actually have money then.
True.
Because that'll be the next wave of craziness that hits us that we haven't really experienced yet. But I think once everyone feels safe, the movie theaters will come back, provided people have money.
I think that the movie theater shutting down is a huge eye opener. Being like, that's a horrible business model. Like the whole all of Hollywood is like a horrible business model. Where I mean, there's got to be a better way. Where you look at movie theaters, right? You only make money if it's completely full, but you're showing movies at matinees, and matinees are never full. Like, I don't know what the right answer is, but you could tell that it's the wrong business model.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I just think things have gotten way out of control in terms of how much everything is costing and being paid. I think what you'll see is a slimmed down production, and you'll see people trying to make the same, movies, blockbuster movies, but actually scaling down how much they spend on making them, and that'll cut costs, and then you can lower the amount you charge movie theaters to play these movies. I think what you may actually see is something like Marvel purchasing a lot of theaters to play their movies, or like the big studios actually purchasing these theaters so that they're basically vertically integrated at that point. And they're making money from top to bottom. I think that is what you'll see. I think in a lot of smaller markets, you'll see theaters close, and you'll have to go to bigger markets to see the big movies. But I think that's what's going to happen, and then you'll have a lot of independent people buy these theaters in smaller towns and have to play a lot of indie films.
You see these movie theaters just realize that they don't control anything. They have zero control. They don't have income without paying somebody else. Like that's a house of cards business wise.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see AMC, they already started because they tried to get their streaming thing where you could get a ticket to see all these movies, but there's also movies that they're streaming that you can start watching. So I think they kind of caught wind of it, and they were trying to turn it around slowly. I foresee a lot of partnerships with like I think Netflix will probably end up buying like some of these chains for pennies on the dollar, closing some of them and selling off the rest of the theaters to and you'll see a lot of independent stuff, or you'll see them shuttered in cities that can't afford it.
I mean, it's crazy that 6 months ago, like 9 months ago, they were talking about how Netflix was thinking about buying movie theaters because they have to show some of their originals in movie theaters in order to be eligible for awards. And, literally 9 months later, it's like, oh, that's an interesting.
Well, what do you do with Oscars? Because nobody's showing their movies anymore. Are you even going to have Oscars? Because technically, you're violating the rules. If you're not showing your movie in a theater. So it's like Mulan's not going to get any credit for score, or
it wasn't going to get any awards anyway.
Well, usually those movies get like score or costume design or something like that.
Well, now here's so I want to kind of butt in. So with that being said, then there has been like we said, there's been some studios that have been doing pay models through like those streaming sites like Fandango or whatever, where you can rent it through on demand type stuff. But then there's also films that put it out, like Netflix has put out a bunch of new films. It was direct to Netflix. Amazon Prime put out stuff, and one that we just watched this past week, Glenn and I, HBO Max released Charm City Kings. Go check out our review on Charm City Kings, by the way, which was a great film, and one that you and I discussed in our review that is well deserving of awards.
Yeah.
So
yeah, 100%.
There we go. We were just talking about it had to be in a theater, but it went direct to, like HBO Max, but it deserves something. So, I don't know. I don't think it needs a theater. And I think personally, I will pay. I'm one of those people willing to pay to rent it. If you want to debut it on a Friday, but give it, I have a limited time to watch it within 24 hours or whatever. I'm down for that because I don't want to risk COVID.
Yeah.
And until we get to a place, yes, I would enjoy the communal vibe in the theater. But if I can't have that and I can be safe and still watch a movie I really want to see, I'm willing to front the money to, and then they'll get their money that way, and like to Lloyd's point, they're setting up these theaters, but not everybody's buying a ticket and discounted prices. Here, you're actually getting people that want to see it paid, and you don't have to worry about hosting the shit. They're in their own home doing it on their own time.
I think another thing is you might see as innovators, people come up with inventions for things like air filtration systems where they're cleansing the air in a much more effective way so that people can feel safe. And once that happens, people will come back. Movies are one of the things I feel like I would risk COVID for because I love them that much. You know what I mean? I think you need fanatics like myself who are gonna be there no matter what when things calm down, to go back first. Because I like the moment movie theaters open back up, I'm gonna be in there no matter what the movie is. Terrible movie, I'm gonna be in there to watch it because that it's one of my favorite things to do. It is one of my favorite things to do. Kuyapi,
brother,
Boy Lee.
I mean, it's cool, but there's other things that I find way cooler, like sex,
life.
I've literally gone to the movies by myself instead of having sex. That's how much I enjoy it.
Don't cut that out. Keep that.
And
make sure.
And when Captain America grabbed Thor's hammer, I came.
Tell me
so
more
I might
about.
As well.
Tell me more about Dungeons and Dragons, Glenn. Tell me more about Magic the Gathering.
Hey, speaking of Marvel Cinematic Universe, did you guys hear that Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man 3?
That's a crossover. I like it because
with it.
I was very concerned about how they were going to cross over Sony Marvel, and with Doctor Strange, I'm there. I'm sold.
Yeah, and apparently Electro's going to be in it, so I think it'll be interesting. Like Jamie Foxx and Benedict Cumbersome. No, what is the name? Help me. Y'all see me drowning and you don't care.
I thought you were having a stroke. I'm calling 911 right now.
I'm calling for a life preserver and no one's saving me.
Cumberbatch.
I'm with it.
All right, Glenn. So you gave us the Jamie Foxx thing last week. You're now giving us Strange. So we expect Spider-Man updates now from now on.
Spider-Man is one of my favorite characters in the MCU, and him and the Tony Stark, fatherly kind of relationship. It always with my heartstrings. I really love that, and I'm just happy to see him grow because now apparently he's like one of the leaders of the Avengers coming up. That's just kind of the trajectory of how things are going, and Tony passed the torch to him and stuff. It'll be very interesting to see how they grow together. I will definitely keep y'all updated because I'm a fan.
I do have a question, gentlemen, comic book guys. Does Spider-Man lead the Avengers in any story arc?
No. Okay. At least from what I recall. I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Well, that's
not Peter Parker, yeah. Actually, and for a long time, but I'm an old head. He was never an Avenger until the end of the 90s. He became an Avenger for a couple of issues.
I saw some fan art where it's like James Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Halen. Could you imagine how excited for this movie if all of them Into the Spider-Verse kind of coalesce into one movie? Would you be pumped for that?
Yeah, I think it'd be dope. It'd be kind of cool. The whole multiverse type of thing going on.
Yeah, well,
bringing that back from the Spider-Verse stuff. That'd be interesting.
Well, Doctor Strange is doing multiverse, and then if he's going to be in Spider-Man 3, probably going to be some multiverse stuff there. I think I saw art that I think they are going to have those other Spider-Mans kind of intertwine or whatever. That should be really interesting.
It will be interesting.
Hmm.
So we'll keep it on the S's. That's going to
Juicy.
be my transition from Spider-Man to Selena. I don't know if
Selena.
you guys were Tejano fans back in the day, but I did love me some Selena, especially when Jennifer Lopez played the biopic. I thought that was a great film, but
Great movie.
yeah, I was a Tejano fan and a Selena fan before she passed, and then she passed, and Jennifer Lopez brought her life in the film. I thought it was great. Netflix, they're bringing the Selena story to Netflix, and she's being played by Christian Serratos that we know from The Walking Dead. What do you guys think about that? Or were you Selena fans at all? Were you a Tejano music fan at one point?
Lloyd?
No?
Glenn?
I love Selena, but I only know her through the film. I've heard her music, but I didn't know it very deeply. Seeing the film, I was a fan. I love Jennifer Lopez's performance in that. I was very interested to see this. Is it a movie or is it a series?
Series, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. It's going to be a series.
Yeah.
So
That's tough. If you already know how it ends, it's kind of, what are you going to do?
that is. Well, they're gonna, I'm sure, extend out. There's a lot of stories that they condensed into the Lopez biopic. So that'll be interesting to how they go in depth, and kind of show the crazy fan that killed her later on.
Oh wait, hold on! I didn't even see this Christina Serrato. What?
Yeah, the hottie from The Walking Dead, bro.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta use the restroom again.
Selena. What's her name? Web series? I think I want to see Jennifer Lopez in this new series, but I want to see her as the one that killed the woman that kills Selena.
That would be dope.
I don't know what this woman looks like. I don't know if you gotta put age on her face or put her in a fat suit. I don't know, but I need to see Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, they would
as
have
the
to do
murderer.
that, but that would be dope. To have the old Selena kill the new Selena, that would be interesting. Yeah. Glenn, Lloyd called it.
Well, she's like a chubby little fat Salvadorian, I believe. So I don't think. Yeah, the killer. I don't think. I don't think Jennifer Lopez would be able to play her.
I need that in my life, though. That would be the ultimate, the fat suit from Tropic Thunder, Tom Cruise, where nobody knew it was Tom Cruise.
Oh,
That's what I need in my life.
She would get it. That would be an Oscar-worthy performance if she throws that on. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which, the person who killed Selena, apparently she's eligible for parole March 30th, 2025. I didn't know that.
Wow. Well, that's ridiculous. Just like it doesn't make any sense that George Floyd's killer was released this week and is leaving Minnesota. Did you know that? He posted the $1 million bail. Who paid for that? Who paid that $1 million? And now he can leave Minnesota. The fucker killed. You know what? That's gonna get me all upset again. But this is the what the fuck. Anyway.
It is what it is. But yes, I'm very excited for the series. I want to see how it transpires, not how it ends. I want to see how it.
I was just saying, I could tell you how it transpires.
Right. I want to see how they put it all together.
All right, before we close it out and give some rest in pieces to some gentlemen that passed this week, did you guys have any other stories before we do our rest in peace to these gentlemen?
I don't think so. I think that's
it. We're
man.
good.
Yep.
All right. Well, Johnny Nash, who is 80 years old, who sang the song "I Can See Clearly Now," great song, favorite of mine. He passed away this week at 80 years old, and Eddie Van Halen died at 65 from cancer.
No.
I was 1 week old this week when I found out that he is actually Asian. I never knew that Eddie Van Halen is actually Indonesian. Yeah, bro. Blew my mind. I'm very familiar with Eddie Van Halen. Love Van Halen. Like their music, but I never knew that he was an Asian brother. So
wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess
Eddie Van Halen is Indonesian, bro.
On his mother's side.
Okay.
Yeah. Never knew that.
Indonesian? Is he white Indonesian?
I think he's a mix. But yeah, it was news to me when I found that out. But rest in peace to Johnny Nash and Eddie Van Halen, y'all.
Hey, listen.
Were you fans of those tracks of those by those gentlemen?
For sure. Hey, but listen, these old school races were, rock stars were very good at hiding their race. like Slash, he just came out. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm black. It's like what? Eddie Van Halen. Oh yeah, by the way, that's crazy that they were able to hide all this, or like not. This wasn't known.
It wasn't the lead singer of Queen? Wasn't he part something?
Freddie Mercury, the one that
something. Yes.
I don't know.
Hold on. What I do find funny that I told my wife, like, oh hey, Eddie Van Halen died. She was like, oh, and she could be like so sad, and I was like, not David Lee Roth, not the blonde hair guy.
Yeah.
From the song, like the guitar. And she goes, oh, okay, I thought it was that guy.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury was Parsi Indian.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Okay, yeah. I could see that.
Wow.
I did not know that though. I thought he was like Italian or something.
Nope.
Nope,
wow. Not at all.
Glenn was right. These rock stars from like the 70s and 80s, they were able to hide these things.
There's hiding that shit. You would never know.
Crazy.
But yeah, man, that's very sad. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, those gentlemen. Let's sign off, guys, for this week. That was our what the fuck. Until next week, Glenn, what do you have going on up until then that you want to talk about, or just tell me your socials?
I'll just go Glenn Lawrence Comedy, Level Up Comedy. Not much is going on for me. I will be catching up on some of these shows so I can bring you the awesomest reviews and content that you could ever imagine for the new release show. I will be handling my duties.
Glenn Lawrence is prepared.com.
Hey, guess what? That website is not available.
It doesn't exist because he's not prepared.
Not prepared.
Lloyd, what you got, brother?
Lloyd Lee Comedy across all your social media websites. We just dropped the first episode of the Edwin San Juan podcast.
Woo!
We're getting there.
I gotta tune in. That's what I'm doing after this. And then Raised by Wolves. It's all about Edwin San Juan and the podcast, bro.
Yeah,
gotta check that out.
I'm gonna have to watch that too. Where is it on? Is it on all your socials and
not on mine
streaming platforms?
It's on Edwin San Juan's YouTube page. So basically, Edwin San Juan on YouTube, and we just launched it this week.
Can I snipe in there and be like, I need to hear more Lloyd Lee? Why isn't he talking more?
Oh no, I talk a lot.
But still, I'm just gonna throw it in there. Just like that guy Lloyd Lee's great. You should give him a raise.
1 star.
We totally gotta troll it. Glenn.
I'm gonna let you guys know I run his page, so
you're gonna be the one.
He's gonna edit all our shit. Delete.
You'd be like, man, there's a lot of people who really like me on this podcast. Maybe I should have a more prominent role.
Not Glenn Lawrence.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, congrats, brother. Definitely gonna check it out. So what's the frequency on that? Like every other week, once a week, new episodes?
We're recording every week, but it's a matter of just editing. And now that we got the first one out, I'm trying to drop 2 catch up to this upcoming week, and then just so I'll be on time. So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing the editing. I tip my hat off to you, Kuya P, for editing.
No worries. And meanwhile, so if you don't, once you're done checking out that Edwin San Juan podcast, go over to Lloyd Lee Comedy and check out Asian Privilege. And then since he gave it to you for free, head over to iTunes and download it. Give him a couple of ducats for giving you that shit for free, because you deserve that, man.
Love you.
Awesome stuff, gentlemen.
I forgot. My Fantasy Wife. That's a podcast I'm on. Is about fantasy sports as well as just crazy, irreverent, wild talking. So if you want more of me, you can check out My Fantasy Wife. Cool podcast.
Where's that?
It's all on your iTunes. It's on the iTunes and the YouTubes. So wherever your podcasts are found.
I'm gonna make it appear right here. Boom. There it is. All right. Glenn, Lloyd, yo.
Chupa Show. When is it? When are you launching? I need a date.
By the end of the month. I will get it out to you by the end of Filipino American History Month this month.
By Halloween.
My birthday is the 21st of October.
I hope so. I'm trying to confirm with our first guest right now, because we really want to work with this particular first guest. I just sent the information over to my partners, And hopefully, yeah, we'll have it recorded by the end of the month and out by the end of the month. But the visuals was done, the intros were done. So
my birthday is the 21st of October. I turned 40, and it would make me very happy to see that on my birthday.
Ooh.
I will do my best.
The gauntlet has been thrown down,
I love
sir.
Joy.
I only turned 40 once.
Don't disappoint the man. He's not going to live much longer. You know,
and that's a monumental birthday, dude. We fuck COVID, man. Like we should be flying to Glenn. We should be flying to Vegas to celebrate this 40th with this.
Listen,
man.
I stayed in the house for my 40th. My 40th was this year too. I feel you, Loy. It's all good. We'll do our 41st birthday somewhere special.
It was your 40th too?
Yeah.
But did Kuya P drop his Chopal show on your birthday?
He did not.
That he didn't. Doesn't sound like he's gonna drop it on mine either. So I guess
I'm gonna do my best.
Damn.
But we gotta have a killer after 40 birthday party for both of you guys.
Right.
Since you guys really couldn't have true 40th birthdays, man. We gotta do something big when we can, man.
Hey,
but I will do my best, Loy. I will do my best. But love y'all. Kuya P. Chopal show coming. I wish I had a date. But Chopal show coming to the Nerds of Color. Make sure you go check out Nerds of Color. And a lot of dope interviews we released recently with Loy Lee, with Kirk Yee, a.k.a. Aztec, with Jason Chu, with Son of Paper, that's going to drop this weekend, with Jahi Diallo Winston, and Angel Manuel Soto from Charm City Kings. Also, check out the review I did with Glenn. Dope stuff, man. We've been pushing out a lot of product. We got some other stuff coming. We're working overtime trying to just give y'all some content and inspiration.
For you. Great content for you.
For free.
We're all depressed, but we're going to inspire. We're going to try and move on up. We're going to try and level up because of Glenn Comedy. Glenn Lawrence.
Love you.
All right. We out of here. Love y'all. Boom, boom.
Be the one getting the coffee and donuts right now.
But no, if this was a conference meeting, I wouldn't have told you. I feel comfortable. I would have faked it like I saw it, and I would have just been throwing out plot points
from the synopsis.
Yeah, from the synopsis. Like, yo, that was crazy. All right, I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.